Let's get more on all of this from Hassan Shibly. He's the executive director of CAIR's Florida affiliate and is a plaintiff in the lawsuit. Hassan, great to have you with us. How are you feeling after all of this?
I mean, I'm elated. I'm so happy. This is probably one of the greatest victories I've had in my life. In fact, I became a civil rights lawyer because growing up as an American Muslim, I was constantly treated as a criminal, as a second-class citizen every time I traveled, held for hours, placed in handcuffs, asked about my religion, asked where I worship, asked about my political views. And my experience isn't unique. It's very reflective of millions of American Muslims, activists, scholars, students, teachers who consistently get profiled, harassed, and targeted by the U.S. government every time they travel because of this unconstitutional watch list. In fact, every Muslim in America is either on the watch list or knows somebody on the watch list. It's extremely problematic. It's treated us like second-class citizens. And today was a huge victory. Today, the court found that this list, indeed, as we've been arguing, is in fact unconstitutional, and the government does not have the right to treat us as second-class citizens on account of our race, our religion, and what the government's been doing to myself and millions of other American Muslims is wrong and needs to stop.
Hassan, we understand that the plaintiffs were claiming that the U.S. government's practice of adding names were, I guess, overboard and riddled with errors. What kind of errors have you documented?
I mean, you have little children, 3 years old, 4 years old, sometimes a few months old, whose names appear on these lists, whose families get stopped for hours while they travel. It just, the biggest error is the fact that it targets indiscriminately Americans based on their religion, predominantly American Muslims, and it's resulted in just about every Muslim in America either themselves being consistently stopped when they travel or knowing a Muslim who gets consistently stopped when they travel. It's resulted in us being treated like second-class citizens, like suspects for decades, and we hope today's victory will put an end to this unconstitutional practice. In fact, today's victory is not just a victory for the Muslim community. It's actually a victory for all Americans. It's a victory for the U.S. Constitution. It's a victory for protecting liberty.
So we understand, Hassan, that the judge is seeking some additional legal briefs before deciding what to do. What are the next steps here? What happens from this point?
Sure. So the CAIR attorneys are going to continue the fight, and they're going to provide briefs based on the finding that the current system is unconstitutional to hopefully ensure that the names of myself and the 22 other plaintiffs are cleared, but that the system itself, which leads to millions of innocent Americans being stopped just because they're Muslim, that system is stopped, and that if the government does indeed have a legitimate concern for safety and security, that we can provide some guidance as to implementing a fairer, more accurate, more just system that keeps our country safe, but without sacrificing our liberty. The previous system did not keep our country safe, and it definitely sacrificed our liberty. It stigmatized and targeted Americans based on their religion. It made Muslims feel like second-class citizens, and it's been going on for far too long, and we're glad to be a part of this victory today.
Hassan Shibly, the executive director of CAIR's Florida affiliate, we really appreciate you being with us. Thanks for that.